Yeah.
But when we talked to you, kind of had some mixed feelings about it.
Yeah.
Do you still have the mixed feelings about it?
Yeah. After watching the film, there's some things in there. Just liked a lot of the offense. It's just that we went to sleep for a while, for too long in the game, and didn't move the ball. We were, like I said Saturday, we were fighting field position way too much, and that comes down to special teams. We're not covering very good, so we'll look at making some personnel adjustments on kickoff team and punt team, and try to be a better tackling team out there. We're a little bit hindered just because we've had those three safeties out, so hopefully we're going to get at least two of those back this week. We got a chance to get Corey and Quentin back, so that'll help things. And on defense, their plays come off of, we're running a field blitz, and we got a full stunt going towards the boundary, and they don't make the trip on the stunt, so you don't get the box cut off when they run into the boundary on us. So that's just us not doing what we're supposed to do, and just our pressure game I'm not happy with, just because we're too timid and too slow, and so we'll have to work on that. And today you can't sit there and base all day. There's times you got to dial it up and affect the quarterback. So I wish I had the opportunity not to do anything like that, but it's not the way it goes. Some of those runs that the Davenport got, they had some nice schemes in there, but an 8-yard run, just because of our team speed and execution, should be a 3-yard run. And so, the last quarterback run for a touchdown was just the scheme fault. We needed two linebackers in the box. We only got one because we're playing soft out there and down in the red zone. There were some calls I just couldn't use because of my personnel on the field, because I don't want to put our players in a position not to be successful, and so that's part of it. So, but in the end, it came out the way we want. I just wish it was executed a little bit better, but like I said Saturday, I'm happy with the win and fortunate with the win, and I feel very thankful for it. So we'll take it. And someone told me Jake made Offensive Conference Player of the Week, so I'm extremely happy for him. And in the offense, it's not just him. We try to tell the guys, there's a lot more than you that has something to do with your success. So it's all of them. So I was happy for the offensive unit that they could help him get that, and that he got that. So as we looked at picking our players of the week after this game, Jake was the Offensive Player of the Week. Defensive Player of the Week, we shared it with two players, Troy Mayon. So it's a good week for the Mayon family. And John McMullen, our freshman 3 technique, was active in there. Our scout team offensive player is a native of Marquette, Peyton Mojo. Our scout team defensive player split between two players, Zach Stuck and Brett Johnson. And then we picked 2 turning point plays of the game. And the first one was Nick Barnes's caused fumble when they were going to score. He did a nice job of stripping the ball out of there, and then Scotty Tripp recovered it. And then the other turning point play that we picked out was Jake's last touchdown when he broke the game. It was close. I think it was 17-14, and he broke it open there. And so, and then we have 2 guys that we picked for what we call in the fold players, guys that, no one notices, but we're going to recognize them for the things they do for our program, and that's one of our backup noses, who's playing real well when we use him, Brad Gustafson, and one of our receivers, Walt Jackson. So it's nice to finally pick players of the week, because you do it when you win, and so that's where we're headed now, getting ready for this next game. They're good, and anybody that knows anything about football knows why they're good. They're good because of Tom Curley. When he went there as an assistant, he changed the dynamics of their program, and he gave them schemes and concepts that were concrete and well coached. And then he became the head coach, and they got even better. So I know Tommy retired, and I give him full credit for the turnaround at Michigan Tech. You're talking about a team or a school that was dropping the program, okay, and all of a sudden, look at the success they have. I often, when I look at schools that do that, I wonder if they have credibility to have a football program, and then they turn around with a really good football program, thanks to Tom. So, that's all due to him, in my book anyway. But they're consistent. They've had Tom up there for a lot of years, and he's built a real good program. They got good kids. I like their coaches. I like their kids, the ones that I know that I've recruited along the way at other schools that ended up there. And, they're good at what they do. Danny does a good job on the offense, and Coach Olson and those guys do a good job with the defense. So they're good. They're a good football team. They've been doing what they do for a long time, and so they've mastered their craft, and they make the box bloody. So it's going to be that. It's going to be a war on Saturday, and so that's what we'll prepare for.
You had Ryan in at quarterback. Felt like he was making those really nice throws, those outs to the sideline. Was there anything he could do better, or something that you might work on with him this week, or did he do what you asked him to do?
He was good at managing the game the way that we had asked him to. One of the down the field plays, throwing the ball in that last drive, we missed Dallas was wide open down the boundary, and if we'd have taken that shot, we'd have got it. But he was managing the game and not wanting to put us in any jeopardy, so I give him credit for that. And when you win with a true freshman quarterback, I give him a lot of credit for that. So, like I said Saturday, he's a lot more mature than your typical freshman. He's 18 going on 22, 23 years old. So that's what we get out of him. So I appreciate him for being that way.
Michigan Tech, a team that, their first week they really ran the ball really, really well, but they've kind of struggled these last 2 weeks. But they're really capable. John Williams is a very dynamic running back. When you look at that third quarter that you had specifically against Davenport, is it something where you might have to go back to the basics, or is it a schematic adjustment when you're facing a team with such a dynamic running attack?
Now, it'll be some schematics, and it'll be some personnel on defense of who we can get healthy and get ready to go. So, we'll prepare for that. On offense, we're going to have to not go to sleep and execute, and it's going to be that kind of game. You're looking for the offense to be productive and use a ball control, thought process to it, and at the same time, you got to have production at the end of the drive. So, we'll want that from the offense, and on defense, we're going to have to be good in the box, and when they take a shot, with orbit or other counter screens or any of their stuff that they run, their sprint out game, their Z spot, and everything they want to do, we'll have to cover them, and we'll have to affect the quarterback. So it's always the same. It doesn't change, from opponent to opponent. But when you see that Tech struggle with, for say, Grand Valley, well, who doesn't struggle with Grand Valley? Okay. They're an elite program, so GV loaded the box up on them, and they made it tough sledding for them. So, but Grand Valley, they win a lot of games. Last time I checked, I don't know that they've lost more than 2 or 3 games in the last 3 years. So it's not so much what Michigan Tech did or didn't do. It's like who they're playing. So it's going to be it'll be a bloody game. It'll be a violent game. That's how they play, and that's how we'll have to play.
Michigan Tech has kind of had Northern's number the last few years, and especially these last second kind of defeats. Is there this? Do you feel like there's a stigma on the program right now?
I don't feel anything. It's got what they've done with Northern has nothing to do with us. So when I was at Ferris, we didn't have any stigma with them. They played really well against us the second year I was there, but we played really well on defense, and they couldn't move the ball against us except for a few eccentric plays that they got on us. And in 2 years before that, we got after them physically. They're trying to run power pass, which is one of Tom's staples, and Danny still runs it. I saw it, and it's a one-man route into press coverage, and he's got nowhere to go with the ball, so the quarterback flushes out, and Justin Zimmer got a hold of him pretty good. So, I don't have a stigma with him, and we shouldn't either.
Do you feel like there's maybe added pressure, given that it's 7 years, and just how 1 or 2 plays could have changed the outcome of the last 3 years? Do you feel like there's any pressure on you to break that streak?
No. What's happened here in the past has nothing to do with our staff or me being here or the players that are here with us right now. Even though they were here, it's still a new dynamic when you bring in a new staff and new culture. So what's happened in the past is that, and I don't have anything to do with it. So we know they're a good football team. We got to be a good football team, and here we go.
Yeah, I'm looking for one, hold on here. The problem is, it's the same question you come up with every week, and it's like, I'm trying to figure out how to say it differently, but ball control.
Yeah,
Every week, you gotta have ball control, and this one's no different.
absolutely. It's absolutely, and they're a ball control offense. So now it comes up to the defense to get the ball back as fast as we can. You know what I mean? And if there is a long drive, let's not give up points. And in the same token, our offense has to control the ball and control the clock and manage the game and be productive. So they're the same way we are. You know what I mean? The schemes on defense are very similar. Their version of 4-2-5, as are we. They're running generated offense, and so are we. So, we'll see whose sword's going to break, and so we'll prepare our team to get ready for it, and to be as tough as we can make them and violent as we can make them. And I got the best defensive line coach in the world right now. That's built that way, and that's Bobby. So if Bobby can't get them nasty and violent, that person's not out there. So I got the right guy working on that. Just go ask him or try to insult him and see how it goes for you.
Since this rivalry is, I'll say, somewhat new to you, I mean, directly, it's new to you now. Has it sunk in yet? You're playing your rival this week?
Oh yeah, I know. Everywhere I've been, you all got the rivals. MSU, Michigan, when I was a student there, assistant for Coach Perlis. Central Western for the 13 years there. Now that is an ugly rivalry. The State U of M rivalry, at least people act right. Western Central, nobody acts right. And so that one gets down and dirty. So TCU, SMU, DePaul, Wabash, you guys don't even know that one, but that's a real one too now. The Monon Bell. And then, North Dakota State, South Dakota State, when I was there, that's a bitter one right there too. And, so the Central Western one, I was on both sides of it. So it's no different. Each team's looking at the same thing. So here we go.